Matthew chapter 2, verse 10. When they saw the star, they were filled with great joy. When they saw the star, they were filled with great joy. Some translations say they were filled with exceedingly great joy. What fills you with great joy? Try and recall something over the past week, maybe the past month. I hope you don't have to go to the past year, but try and think of the last person or situation or thing that made you feel great joy. You know Winnie the Pooh? Do any children know what kind of animal Winnie the Pooh is? A bear. Honey bear. Pooh Bear. Well, one of Winnie the Pooh's friends asked him this question. Pooh, what do you like best in the whole world? Well, said Pooh, what I like best, and then he had to stop and think. Because although eating honey was a very good thing to do, there was a moment just before you began to eat it, which was better than when you were eating it. But he didn't know what that was called. I love Winnie the Pooh. What was that? It's called Advent. You're getting ahead of me. Have you experienced what Winnie the Pooh is talking about? I remember when I first came to that realization. I think I was 19 years old, and I just had this realization that the thing that I was looking forward to, after it happened, I was actually more filled with excitement and joy before it happened than when it happened. It's not that it was a bad thing, but that just got me to thinking. And then I came across this quote. I'm sure many of you have heard this quote. Anticipation is better than the realization. And a number of studies have demonstrated that this is actually often true. One such study was published in the journal called Applied Research in Quality of Life in 2010. And it concluded that planning and anticipating your vacation actually makes you happier than taking it. They interviewed over 1,500 people and found that the vacationers felt most happy right before their trips. Have you ever experienced that? Now, Winnie the Pooh, he didn't know what this was called, this moment right before what we're looking forward to actually happens. But here's what it's called. It's called positive anticipation. And when we practice positive anticipation, it has a profound impact on our lives. Another study done at the University of London, 2005, concluded that people with expectations of future positive experiences were more likely to measure higher on a scale of subjective well-being, which just makes sense. Concluded those who anticipated the future in a positive way experienced a larger social network, more friends, had a higher number of steps in place to achieve their goals, and had a slightly higher household income. That's the power of positive anticipation. Another study revealed people who just thought about watching their favorite movie, just thought about it. This increased their endorphin levels by 27%. Positive anticipation actually changes our biochemistry. In fact, brain scans show it can light up the pleasure center in your brain just as much as the actual event or reward that you're anticipating does. One article I read, this is a few years ago, it said one of the 5 essentials of a higher quality of life experience, one of 5, is this: having something to look forward to. As human beings, we need something to look forward to. It might be a party, it might be a sporting event you're going to, or a concert, or a trip. It doesn't matter. That's what's really interesting, is it doesn't actually matter if those things make you happy. This is very interesting to me. Because the truth is, many of the things that we are looking forward to don't turn out to be as great as we hope, right? You ever been in that situation? We all have. You might be in one of those right now. I don't know. But in fact, sometimes they're downright disappointing, the things that we're looking forward to. That's a different sermon. That's a different topic. But here's the thing, that doesn't really matter. What matters is the positive anticipation. Because many times it's not the event or the thing that we're looking forward to that brings us the joy. It's the positive anticipation of it. So if you want more joy in your life, you need to find or plan things that you're looking forward to. It doesn't have to be extravagant or expensive. It can be coffee with a dear old friend you haven't seen in a while. The point is to get it on the calendar. That's the key. Once it's on the calendar, now you have something that you're looking forward to. Now you have positive anticipation, and that brings joy into your life. Now, what I'm talking about here is not the same as positive thinking, where you try and find the positive in everything. That's not what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about ignoring the present and focusing on the future. What I'm talking about is being fully present in the moment, embracing the present moment fully, and that includes enjoying the anticipation of the thing that you're looking forward to. That's part of the present moment. Okay, what does this have to do with Advent and Christmas? Well, Marianne gave us a sneak peek that it's related. One of the most interesting characters for me in the Christmas story, and there's a lot, but the Magi from the East, they're just so mysterious. Sometimes we call them the three wise men or the three kings, if you don't know who I'm talking about when I say the Magi. Here's the thing, we don't know much about these Magi. Now, we often assume there were three of them because they brought three gifts, but we don't know how many there were. Most scholars think there were at least 12, maybe more. We don't know where they came from. We know they came from the general direction of the east, but we don't know where they came from. It could have been, scholars say it could have been modern Iraq or Iran, or even as far as China or India, but we don't know. We know they were probably wealthy, or at least knew wealthy people, because they were bringing very wealthy gifts. They were intelligent, they were spiritual. We know they studied the stars. It's probably likely that they studied ancient religious texts, and they were probably familiar with some of the ancient Jewish prophecies about the coming Messiah. We know they traveled a great distance, possibly over 1,000 miles, but again, we don't know for sure. In fact, there's not much we know for sure about the Magi. But one thing we know from the text, the Gospel of Matthew, is this: they experienced the joy of positive anticipation. Matthew 2:10, when they saw the star, they were filled with exceedingly great joy. For me, this is the joy of Advent, because they were filled with great joy before they found Jesus, before they saw the Messiah, before they found the King who was prophesied about. Their joy came from the possibility, from the anticipation. You know, for months, maybe even an entire year, they traveled following a star of hope, following a star of promise that Christ's birth was real. And this positive anticipation filled them with great joy. Now, I wonder how many of you are picking up on kind of the gloomy vibes on our planet. I don't know if you've picked up on this the past few years, but there's been something, or maybe many things afoot. And some of you may feel like you're on an Advent journey like the Magi. You have this hope that Christ has come, but you're having trouble finding him. You're struggling to sense his presence and the difference that he actually makes on planet Earth. You might be struggling, wondering, where is God in this world? Or where is God in this situation that you find yourself in? And some of you may feel like you've been on this journey for a long time, a lot longer than the Magi. For years, you've been waiting and praying, longing for the peace and the joy of Christ, for the presence of Christ to come and make things better in our world, in your life. And that kind of waiting can get hard, really hard. I feel your pain. I empathize with you. But let me ask you this. Are you following the star God is shining in your life to guide you? The Magi were waiting for Christ, but they didn't just stay where they were. They had to take a journey to find Christ. They had to follow God's star. So are you following God's star while you wait? And here's one indicator that lets us know if we are. You will have moments of experiencing the joy of positive anticipation on your spiritual journey. So here's another way of asking that question. What is the thing, the person, the place, the practice that helps you positively anticipate the future that God has in store for you? What is it in your life that helps you stay in a space of looking forward to where the Spirit is leading and guiding you? Because even when life gets tough and it's hard and it's painful, I believe there's always a star shining. You ever read Dostoevsky? I love Dostoevsky. He said, "The darker the night, the brighter the stars." God usually provides something that offers you the joy of positive anticipation in your life, even in times of trials and tribulations. Now, we've had a tough journey as a church over the past 3 years. We've lost our building. We've lost some good people. We've lost the ability to do some of the things that we used to be able to do. My kids still ask me, when are we getting a building with a gym? Didn't you promise us we'd... No, I made no promises. That much I know. It's been a tough road on many levels and in many ways. Hasn't been easy. But as I look around at all your faces, many new faces, I see a star. I see a star of promise. I see a star of hope. When I look around and I see the children's faces, many of those children who were not here 3 years ago when we had our building in the golden era before COVID, right? When I see the faces of those children, I see a star of promise. I see a star of hope. When I look at our vision to be a safe and welcoming church for people who historically haven't felt very welcome or safe in church, I see a star of hope. I see a star of promise. And I look forward to where this star is leading and guiding us. I look forward to the people we are going to meet as we continue to follow this star. But just like the Magi, we are on a journey, and we don't know exactly where we'll end up. You know, the Magi didn't know where they were going. They ended up, they knew the general direction, but then they ended up heading to where? Jerusalem. Now, why did they go to Jerusalem? Well, that's just, kind of a reasonable assumption to make is that the king of the Jews will be born in the royal city of David, Jerusalem. But they also went for a different reason. They went to see King Herod. They were expecting him to be as excited about the star as they were. They were surprised that Herod wasn't as excited and joyful about the star as they were. In fact, Matthew tells us he was deeply troubled and disturbed. The same star that brought the Magi joy was threatening, unsettling, and disturbing to King Herod. Like the Magi, sometimes we'll be surprised at how other people react to the stars God shines in our lives. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Not everyone gets excited about the star of promise that we've seen. Not everyone rejoices and wants to join us on our journey as we follow God's star. A lot of people won't even notice the star. And some of those who do see it will find it not joy-inducing, but scary, troubling, unsettling. Now here's the thing. God's stars almost always invite us to take a journey. And not everyone is up for the journey we are on. Not everyone is called to the journey we are on. I believe this very strongly. Some people are following different stars that God has revealed to them. I want to be very clear. I'm not comparing everyone who doesn't follow the star we have seen with King Herod. I am not doing that. I want to be very clear about that. Absolutely not. God shines many stars. God calls different people to different stars to take different journeys. God shines different stars to different churches because they're on different paths. We need to bless others as they follow their own path, as they follow the stars God has revealed to them. Amen? Amen. But what matters for us is that we notice the stars that God shines in our lives, and we take the journey the Spirit is inviting us to take. That's what matters. That's what we're accountable for. And when we do, we will find the joy of positive anticipation as we follow where God's star is leading us. Now I'm going to invite Cyril and whoever else is accompanying him to lead us another song. You are doing another song, right?
Yeah, we are.
Is it Go Tell It on the Mountain?
It is.
All right. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to some I'm feeling the joy of positive anticipation right now, Cyril. As they're coming, I say this, friends, I pray we feel great joy as we follow God's star together. I pray you have something to look forward to this Christmas and Advent. I pray God shines a star in your life and you sense God leading you even when you're struggling or waiting, even when you don't know where you're going. May God's star keep on shining, and may we keep on following. Amen.
One fun way for me to be able to keep me excited and in anticipation and be patient about it when we're following the star is music. Is singing. Let's do that together. And by all means, that includes dancing too. I asked the Lord to help me, and